Okay, so it's like 6:15. He keeps doing that. And I don't know. Is that a pug thing? Or I feel like I tried to get my flashlight to look down his throat to see like if he swallowed or if he got something stuck, like a piece of grass or something. But he wouldn't open his mouth. But he started doing it ever since he got here. Well, not like the instant. It was like once he went out and he was walking around and stuff. And I kept thinking maybe he ate something that's stuck in his throat. But he keeps eating and drinking, but then he just keeps doing this choking thing. Anyways, it kept me up all night doing it. It was intense. Stella was getting so pissed. God, she was getting so pissed. She's really going through it right now. She's so irritated that he's in here taking up any of her space, that he does anything. Anything he does just irritates her. She was going in the bedroom and sleeping. She's stomping down the hall. And she went and slept in the bedroom a couple times. Because all night long he would get up and start with his choking and moving around. I just kept staying conked out. Like I would wake up for a second and just go right back out. But it's weird. It's like the dream space is like, I don't know. It's a lot better. Like I feel like it's a lot better than what we got going on. But what we got going on, I think, is we're going to see some big changes this week. My hair is really dirty. It was so sweaty yesterday. And they haven't been spraying, so I don't know what's going on with that. And right now, I just saw a whole bunch of lives at hurricanes being hit with this storm. I thought it had been downgraded or something, but I'm not sure. They're getting hit hard. And they had no power. There's more with the storms. There's a weird thing in England that these scientists did, and they went and took, I think it's like 200 gallons of synthetic blood, like created blood. Okay, I mean, just that right there. And then they went and dumped it in the ocean because they're trying to lure a great white shark, they're saying. Bullshit. Bullshit. I think this Leviathan thing, these ocean beasts that have been dormant or something, I think, yeah, be prepared for something more like that. Like there's something in there, and that probably is why these creatures that we think of as being huge predators are jumping out of the ocean. They're just running to the shore. They're like, come on, guys, we want to go with you. We don't want to be in here with these. But maybe they're trying to lure it because they want to do something like in the old movies, like in Godzilla and stuff like that. It would be like try and lure it there so that they get electrocuted or shoot it full of something so it blows up or something. So I'm sure it's something like that. But in the awakening part, it's so we start seeing and questioning. Yesterday, I was really seeing it in my head about all this magic coming back to the planet. It's like the giants were, what is that? Kind of like pushed, whatever was done. It's at different times. Different times had different things occur, but whatever time that they pushed those things is like giants having to run for their lives or something, and then just went out further and further into the woods, into the caves. There's things that have gone underground. There's things that like in this is like this awakening is bringing this energy back to the planet where it's safe for us all, like where we get to live safely. So any of the things that come would not be predators to us, because we're going to go into this harmonious time of living. So, and I don't know how this is going to go down. If there's some big ass creature they're trying to get, like, I don't know. because there's a part of just letting all the creatures live their lives and let them do their thing. And awareness is what keeps you safe. So I don't know. Because like, I think it was Corey Good who was talking about the things, the beings that we think of like, I guess we would look at them like mermaids or sirens or something like that. They're those aquatic beings, and they're pretty brutal. They are not nice. They are predatory, and they don't like it when we come and we go into their space and stuff. And there's information of different attacks, but then they get wiped out away, you know, like, oh, that's impossible, that can happen. But there was like an attack or something of some like Navy guys. I don't know if they were in a smaller boat, like they're shipwrecked or their ship sunk or something, so they were in a smaller rescue boat or something. But then these beings, these creature beings, start coming up out of the water and getting them and taking them. And they'll eat them. And they're not beautiful. And Corey Good said that one of the times, because he was always used for the translation, which I just feel like that's what I would have been used for if they would have found me. But they did find him. They found lots of people, but they found the people they were supposed to find. Like, nothing can happen that's not supposed to happen. So they found the people they were supposed to find. So it's not like he did something wrong and I did something right. We all have roles to play. And so he got caught and got used by them. And he said that, so at a meeting that he was supposed to go and translate, and he said he was like in this hallway and they were bringing them all in, all these different beings and creatures and stuff. And think about this too. This is a part of our minds opening. Just think of how we look at everything. Like, we look at a fucking spider like we're scared shitless of those goddamn spiders, like this big. And we're this big, but it's weird looking. So that is a part of our awakening, this accepting weird looking things that are just as important as us. Like, we have an illusion of perception. And so anyways, he had said that when they brought in the aquatic being, they brought him in like a cube of water, like they were in like a fish tank kind of thing when they came in. And he said he had never felt so much anger and hateful resentment and stuff that was coming from that being, that they just do not like us. And look at what we've done to the ocean. We use everything like it's just here for us. We abuse things, we use things, we don't have respect, we don't live in harmony, we don't take responsibility for our imprint. And that is like a huge thing that is coming up, because their whole, you know, go green and all their bullshit is all bullshit. It's more about control. But the things that they say are true. We don't live in harmony. We do live dependent. Whatever you do, you know, if that's what you got to do, you got to kill all these animals to feed us, then I guess that's what you, like, our attitude is, you know, and we keep our hands clean too, because we don't take care of ourselves. There's always somebody else doing it. And then we disregard the fact of how much waste. And that's why this reevaluation, why so much is coming in, you just have to listen to it, about the fake food and the, it is like this ethical reformatting your programming, how you look at things. That's why every fucking thing that is happening, you got to look at it deeper. You don't just get scared. And, oh my God, we got to hold on to the food. They're going to starve us. Oh my God, they're going to do this. They're going to do that. AI is taking our jobs. We can't even get a job. AI took it. And it's like, this was all coming, you guys. You don't need to work those jobs. You don't need to eat all that shit. But you have to reevaluate. You have to come up with your reasoning. You have to look at things bigger and deeper so that you can see that for yourself. Like, you have to go through this process, but in the process, that is what you got to be looking at things from these other perspectives, because everything is changing. You know, just the fact of, you know, well, I don't know. It's kind of funny because Stephen Hawking was kind of like a representation of, you know, could be all shriveled up and broken looking and be a genius. But then what has come out is, yeah, his translator had, like, Stephen would say, "Mer, mer," and the guy would go, he says that the space, oh, this bullshit. Like, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know, he was on those plane rides. He was, I think he's already been in the court papers. Like, the girls were like, oh yeah, we were doing it with Steven. It's like, I mean, there's a lot of these people who we have looked up to and give them uh, our, not just our loyalty, but our admiration, our allegiance to these different people who are really total sleazebags. Oh yeah, and there's a new list that came out supposedly of all the things that have been going on at the island, the Git Island, and there's someone was saying all the people you're seeing, it's all clones and shit. That all these people are gone. And I've been saying that. Like, this is part of the show. Like, the reason why that they say things that, you know, put them in it's like locking them in place. Like, it's like deposition. Like, because everything is on film. It's like all this depositions. It's all this awakening. It's all this disclosure. It's all this. It's all has to do with that. And this confirmation. And this change of this energy of getting rid of this negative control that has been over us, because it is totally like that is legit, like what they have done to us. That's strange, that movie, The Watchers, when I really think about that, because I don't think I mean, the thing is there's lots of people, which I swear to God, I think M. Night is aware of this, of the communication of the world. Like, there's been people, Tesla, there's another scientist that would say he would go and take a nap, and then when he would get up, he would have all these answers and stuff. And so you go into like meditation, you go in and you converse. And yeah, they just show you things like constantly. Like, I can have something where I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know how to fix that. I don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do? And they'll just tell you. Just like the other day, it was like, oh, you got that over there. Go get that. You got that. I know where that is. Go get that. And they'll tell you. Like, there'll be things and I'll think, oh, okay, good. And I'll go look for something and then I won't find it. And I'll be like, I can't find that. Where? You're going to have to show me where it is. And they'll show you in your head. All of a sudden, you'll see where it is. And you go right over and get it. So and I've talked about that for a long time. Like, that is one thing when people try and tell me, you're just talking to yourself. It's like, okay, well, you have to have the experience and then tell me about that. And, but this, let me think what I was saying. But whatever you have going on and you don't know how to do something, they will tell you. They'll give you information. So, yeah, I think there's scientists. And I don't know what is on inside of everybody. I mean, I talk to people and they think all their thoughts come inside their head. And so, you know, you can't, you know, I don't. So, and then but I think that there's some people like me who are aware of this. And I think there's some artists, there's some writers, there's different creative people who know that there's an energy you can tap into that is there, that helps you, it shows you, fuck. Like, I can be painting and it's like you have an art teacher right with you. all sorts of things. Like there's just, you have so much assistance in life, but people just cut themselves off from the assistance and stay focused on what everybody else thinks of them. So they're always looking for these people who can't help you, and you're keeping yourself off your own path because you're desperately trying to get other people's approval. So you're going in the wrong direction anyways and wasting your valuable time, really. So there's something about time. I have so many conversations, and some of them are so freaking good and deep and stuff, and then I try and remember them all, but it's just like there's so much information all the time when you tap into that. So I know that that information is out there. And so on that movie, The Watchers, see, it can be the things coming into her mind to put into her story, which she could also have her dad telling her things. It could be looking into folklore because she's based on this folklore in Ireland. And folklore is real. That's the stuff they want us to, they want us to discount all of this stuff from the past people, the past communication and stuff, and not, what was that? Somebody just told me, oh yeah, I think it was in the comments on here, somebody had just told me that a couple of hikers or something went missing in Greece. And I was like, well, what's the folklore there? What is the beast and the monsters up in your hills there? But there's also a competition because there's just so much people being killed by all these different things. Like that one thing that I thought was really crazy after I was saying there's going to be big groups of people who are all going to leave together. That one, what was like a family barbecue or some kind of a party. I don't remember what it was, some party. And then it was like, I don't remember if it was a plane crashed into it or something. Something happened and crashed into this party and killed all the people. It was like 32 people or something. But, you know, just remember that it's also got a certain beauty to that. Like, it's sad to us in the story, but when you know that like, I just saw somebody say that they get really disgusted by people who say, when your person dies and then the person says, oh, well, they're in heaven now. That like is very discounting, which it is. It's like, you know, there's more to it though, because really things are out of our control. And yeah, people are leaving us all the time. And yeah, we got to try and, you know, get used to it and deal with it. And then you got to realize, like, you're here to learn and deal from the pain of loss. And that when people leave, they do go to the heavens. They do go to a better place. And it's not a if, and, or maybe. It's a for sure thing. Your soul goes home. This isn't home. This is a game. This is the same thing if, like, you left your home and went to the movies, and then you were in the movies, and all of a sudden you thought the movies were real life, and you had to be released from the movies so that you could go back home. And the feeling of going back home of like, oh, this is where I belong. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm, you know, and instead, like, people just don't get it. There's just so much confusion. Religion was just created for so much confusion. I just saw a fucking religious psychosis. I swear to God. A guy in his 20s, his married sister, who's 30, got pregnant. So he invited her over for dinner, and she was the dinner. Like, he just killed her, chopped her up. The mom was nervous about something and showed up over at the house because the daughter wasn't answering the phone when she was calling, because she knew she was going to go eat at her brother's house. And she pulls up, and the guy pulls out real quick, and she goes in, and the woman's been, her daughter who's pregnant has been killed. And the guy left this long journal, and And then he stabbed himself, but he's looking like he's going to make it. But then he left this journal talking about how she was no longer clean and stuff like that because now she was pregnant and stuff. Like these religious psychosis, we're going to see that's going to come to the surface because it's toxic. And so anyways, back on this Watchers thing. But so you have communication that's going on all the time. So when you're in development of a story or anything like that, the information to me is not coming from in here. It's coming from a lot of different things. Because even the thing that motivates you was brought to you. It wasn't brought to everybody else. What's brought to you is brought to you. And another thing too, with the looks thing I thought of, is that when we're all trying to change our looks to look like somebody else, but you are the only one that looks like you. You are what brings your looks to life. You are the you. And even when we sit there and say, yeah, but there's all these people and we all look alike, this looks alike and that looks alike. Yeah, but nobody is identical. There's something about you that makes you unique. Even if you took identical twins or triplets or something, you would find something on them. There's a reason why that they would be born that way. It would be maybe is like, I mean, it could be one soul playing all those parts. And it's to get all these multiple perspectives. It can be so many different things that are just beyond our imagination. And so I just think it has great value for you to value yourself. Even, and I get like the thing, like I'm telling you, you just have no idea how I struggled with thinking I was so strange looking for so long. And so I get it, you know, I get that trying to change yourself and being unhappy with yourself and thinking that you're strange looking and stuff. But that we get that because we compare ourselves to other people. Once you get into the mood of like, man, this is Kelly. This is what she looks like. This is who she is right here. Then that's just it. This is it. This is who she is. And this is what represents her. And so it doesn't matter what features or what's imperfect or not perfect. It's just what it is. There is no, it should have been this way or should have been that way. There's so much of that. These people trying to, you know, especially putting these fucking filters out that put your face like, oh, you got to do this and put your eye, like all this bullshit. And it's like, no, you got to just learn how to accept your face. Quit trying to change it. Quit trying to make it match somebody else's or match the beauty standard, the trend. Just, you know, learn how to love yourself and take good care of yourself and appreciate yourself. And that's has way more value. But anyway, so when you have all of the stuff coming into your mind, it's coming from other places. And like I said, I feel like that there's creative people who are aware of this, who have awareness of it. But so I don't know how her whole storyline developed, but it's very strange because I very much see it. Like that is like almost like it's our story. Like we have been the ones who were trapped. We were the ones who were magical and they couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand that we loved each other. They couldn't stand that we could be happy. We could be happy with nothing. We could be happy living in caves. We could be happy just being alive, you know, because that's the kind of souls we are. Like we are this kind of soul. It is advanced enough to be loving. And so, and that's why to me, it's like the hateful side isn't the real side. That's why there's so much of that that's got to break down in people. But they're going to feel so much shame. Like what I was saying yesterday, it's like them taking all these fairies and getting them drunk at a party and then getting them, it's like very Epstein Island, and then getting them all drunk at a party and get them to do some really horrific things so that they feel bad about themselves, so they forget who they are and they become what they're not because they are manipulated in their motivation. And so it's like we've all been manipulated in our motivation. There's been all this perversion and cruelty, I mean, think about even how humor has become cruel. And so, and I just saw a video, like, the shit with, like, this is really getting to be just fucking weird. Like, seriously, it's getting to be so fucking weird. The, like, people are just walking around. Like, do you have a fucking camera on your head? You're just walking around filming everything? Like, what in the holy hell with people? Like, what? You just seriously walking around like this, filming every motherfucking thing in case, just in case. It's weird as fuck. And then you have people who do shit all goddamn fucking time, and then they try and set it up like, oh, this just happened. Okay, it just happened. Like, is I'm just walking around filming my fucking life. Like, why don't you get out there and live your life? Why don't you put your goddamn phone down and just fucking live? Be a participant. Not a I don't want to say not an observer, because that is a different thing, that being in a sense of observation, not being caught up in the drama. But this is trying to create drama. So it isn't, to participate is to put your phone down and to become a part of the party and stop filming the party. So, see, he does it all the time. If anybody knows anything about that, let me know. So, yeah, and I don't have a car. And the vet that they wanted us to take him to was like fucking over an hour, probably, I don't know, it's maybe an hour and a half away or an hour away. So, poor guy. It's like you feel, and I don't know, like the girl, the foster person who had him before said that there was something about, she was sure that he had been choked or something. He freaks out if she put anything around his neck. So he doesn't wear a collar or anything, he just wears a, what you call it, harness. And she said, don't put anything around his neck. And she said, I think he was abused, which makes sense. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who put collars and leashes on their dogs and then go drag their dogs around, choking their dogs out, especially like going out and walking still is so tedious. Oh my God, it's so fucking tedious. And if I didn't control my emotions, I can't yank her even when I'm trying to like pull her. But, there was times like when I had Jack out with her and he's like jumping and going all fucking crazy. It was like, I wasn't, he had a harness on too. I wasn't choking him out. And he just jumped all over the place like nothing. Like, that guy was wild. But I'm sure there's people like you, when a dog is smaller like that, they just yank them and do that. And dogs like to go and sit and smell things. Like, they just meander around and sit, like, they'll both dive in on a smell and they'll both just be sitting there smelling it and smelling it and smell it. So if you're just trying to walk, you know, it's very tedious to stand there and just let your dog smell things, especially out in front of people's houses, you know, standing there. But that's where I've got to find my own peace of mind, work on my own patience, and try and distract my, like, think about other things. Look at the sky. Look at those pretty flowers. Like, it is very much stop and smell the flowers. And, you know, we don't have a society that's built on that. So I'm sure there's a lot of dogs that are being throat strangulation. So I don't know if they did some kind of damage. The dog next door, I don't know how she got it, but she has got something, her esophagus is collapsing. And she keeps making noises like that. And in the vet, she already took her into the vet. The vet said there's nothing we can do. She's just going to die from it. And she's going to put her down before because she, it's suffocating or something. It's real horrible of a way to go. So when she starts doing really bad, she's going to. But it's sad because Rue will go out and try and bark and stuff, and she can't bark. She's very hoarse, and she'll have problems breathing sometimes. So I keep on thinking, man, has he got something with his esophagus? Like, how weird. I'd never heard of that. And she doesn't, and then he'll go out and start making these same noises. And I don't think he's very old, maybe a couple years old, and I don't even know all his history. Like, there's so many of these dogs that are, well, because I'm at this pug rescue. So if a pug or any of the dogs that they take, which they take bulldogs, Frenchies, yeah, French bulldogs, English bulldogs, pugs, chihuahuas, and all the mixes. And so but they're all like a certain range of dogs that they take. And so if one of those goes into a shelter, and then the rescue people talk, and then they will, see, he's laying there like he's trying to go to sleep. Poor guy. I'm gonna have to look in his throat and see if there's something caught down there, like a piece of grass or something. But anyways, so so if one goes into a shelter, and then they get notified, I guess, that they go and get them and move them around and ship them to different places, and different people say, well, we'll rescue them. So I'm in that group of their foster people that they can move dogs to, I guess. And there's tons of them. Like, there's so many people, or even the girls that came to bring him, and I was talking to them, and they just started. And I was like, I just started. Like, I don't know. I'm sure there's so many people, because there's such a need. We are in such an animal crisis. Like, we got to stop them from fucking slaughtering these fucking animals. And then people who are ignoring it, not paying attention, well, it's gonna slap you upside the head when you find out you've been goddamn eating them. So, yeah, that's gonna be their harshness that's gonna come. So that's the thing. It's like, you can pay attention now, or you can just wait and see what happens in the aftermath. And you can reevaluate how you feel about it when you learn that they slaughtered thousands and thousands of dogs every day and then fed them to you. So, anyways, but in that movie, it just was like how the beings had this specialness, and then they were enclosed in this forest. But really, we are enclosed in this planet. But it's not like we're trapped. Like, they kill us off. But there's something, I swear, they do police these other realms. Like, I think that they were policing the dream realm, because that's a real realm. And so I think they were policing it. But I think that the reason why the sleep is better is because some of these people have gone down. Like, these things are changing. And so where they used to be in there to disrupt us, that they, or to watch us, to spy on us and stuff. And I think that there was a part where they kept people in this recycle, because we were dying fast, because we can live way, way long. And that's what's we're going back to. But they were making us sick and killing us off quick. But it wasn't to get rid of us. It was like to recycle. So they were there somehow. I don't know if they somehow were going to life reviews or what. Because there's definitely people who feel like that they've been trapped. But I feel like that we as souls, we come here, that we leave, and then in our life review, we look at the stuff we're bound here by our choices, the things that we do and the things that we want to change. And so we bind ourselves here. I think they got a good system going. Hurry and kill us off, and then we bind ourselves here by our mistakes that we made, because we didn't see the light. We didn't see the whole thing. We were making choices when we had limited information. And then we go to the review, and then we see things more clearly, and then we want to fix it and do better. So we as souls, we recycle ourselves, I think, and keep coming back to improve. But this realm, this created realm that we're in, is very much a trap, where we are very confined. And they are trying to destroy the magic out of us, beat us down. And this is a part of the awakening, when you've got to wake up and see your beauty, see your magic, feel it, feel how magical you are, feel how magical this world is. Like, this world is so magical. And the place where I'm at right now is like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like it's gone through these phases, and it doesn't ever go backwards. It is just more and more and more going towards this other thing where it is like, I just, it is almost like feeling like you're not really here. Like you're not really here, but you are here, but you are, um, it's like feeling like being aware you're in a dream. I don't know. It's very strange as this is all going on. And then we've got so much chaos, so much stuff with the storms and stuff. And a real good one, I'm real excited about this one, is people are saying today Joe's making the announcement he's stepping down. So this is the chaos we've been waiting for. So hopefully this is going to get going. I feel like this week is going to be pretty big, especially if this week he steps down, because I would think then they're going to have the money crash. There's going to be a lot of disclosure. But, I mean, they could drag it out and be like, oh, well, now we're going to put Kamala in. If they do that fucking bullshit, that's going to be because they have to expose her shit and what she's attached to and all the dirty deeds around her. So, yeah, that's how it goes. And it just is like, oh my God, everything that just goes slow and we want it to just go. And when it goes slow like that, you just got to be, okay, some more exposure. More exposure. They got to use this time. This is what this is all set up to do, is disclose and expose things to us. This is an elaborate scheme, elaborate movie playing out so that we can see the truth, so we can understand what the control that has been over us and what this place is. And this place is so much more magical. And there's so many people that are so scared of everything. They're so scared of everything. I just saw a video, and this guy was, there's a map. There's these old maps. And in these old maps, they show faces in the sky either blowing on us or sucking from us. And so they're talking about that these, that they've known for all this time about the luge. And that, but, you know, any of the people in disclosure already know that these, there's even a part of like where Eisenhower supposedly was a part of it, but they have, these treaties, these deals that they made with these other beings, these other creatures, or because not all of them are, you know, beautiful light beings. Some of them are dark, heavy, dense beings. That doesn't mean they're demons. Like, and I'm basing it on how we were taught, like what they taught us, what demons were, and God, and all that stuff. That's not what it is. And even if something has a negative inclination, it doesn't mean it's a demon from what they've showed you in movies. You don't have to sit there and be scared of all this demons and stuff. Yeah, there's dark energy that's out there tricking you, but it's not tricking you in the sense of how demons would. It's tricking you on the sense of just trying to stay alive, because it's a parasite. So it's trying to promote its own living through you. So it's not like, it's not at all like what they've told us about with demons and stuff. So I think you don't need to be so scared of all that. But those luge things, so in all these maps, it was showing all of these faces, you know, in the skies, and and they're saying that we're, you know, some kind of luge farm, and we're just here to feed these other, like we have no purpose other than to feed these other beings. That is such a minimalist way of looking at existence. It's so much bigger and broader and more vast. Like, yeah, there's beings out there that live off other beings' energy. Do we? I mean, isn't that a part of our awakening at this point? That we live off other beings' energy? That's why we go and kill things and take their energy and consume it so that we can take their energy, we can consume it so we have energy. It's the same thing. It's micro, macro. This is why people have to look at their own things that they're doing so you can understand, so you don't live in fear. Like, how can people do things and then be in fear of them being done to them? It's like you got to know your bigger role in the universe. And we aren't just here to feed other beings. They feed off of the energy that comes out. And then and we do have these dark people. And I'm not going to call them demons or any of that stuff. Like, they are practicing whatever they think of as religion. You know, they practice their thing, but they're like these darker creatures that just, they don't have this light in them. Like, we have this light inside of us. It's full of possibilities because we are creators. And so we have this beautiful light inside of us. They don't have that. And that's why I said we irritate them. They don't understand us. That's why they terrorize us, because they can't wrap their heads around, like, why when this happened, like, why would we forgive? Why would we do this? Why, like, they can't get it. They don't have feelings and emotions like that. And it's like we are always trying to find joy and happiness. It's like the same thing as like the little dwarfs. Like, it's been a lot in all these stories and stuff. But these little creatures who are just looking for joy and happiness. But we're those creatures. We're those creatures that are held and captive. And then because of our ignorance of what we are, because we've been trapped, that they all feed off of us. And the beings who are set up with this realm, that they create scenarios to create emotional responses and stress. Like right now, like I've said for a fucking long time, these beings, these creatures that live off of us, that eat our energy, that's what you got to think about when you're stressing out. You're a fucking food frenzy. Like, you want to think about these things just over you, just sucking that while you're stressing and stressing. You're just feeding them. Like, what's the point? Like, try and gather your thoughts. Try and get yourself calm. There's nothing to stress out about. And then you just pull more of them in on you because they suck all the fucking energy out of you. So, you know, they're not like eating us like that. But then we've got other ones, confirmation. We've got other ones that they are out in the forest and out in the caves, and you know, to them, they could be in one realm and just come through a little portal and grab you out and take you into their realm. And there's ones out there. But think about this, like in our world, how I just seen this video is in the sand. This person was like, this is why I don't walk in the sand. Now I don't want to walk in the sand. But there's little, like somebody pulled one out and there's like these worm things. There's things that live in the sand. And I've seen these kinds of things. I think there's in the ocean. They're all over the place. But like, it's like a trap. It's like a trap. And then the thing is down inside that is going to consume the other thing. We already have that. Like a portal in the forest where this creature can come out and get you real quick, and it's sitting there like a fishing hole. Like the same thing as like a hole in the lake, like an ice hole, fishing out of an ice hole. So they've got this same kind of concept where they can sit and, you know, fish, you know, for us. And they can sit there and then come out and grab you and take you and eat you. There's definitely ones that are out there that will eat you. I mean, that was a big thing also with the giants through the different battles and stuff. Oh, yeah, and there's more stuff coming out, too, of, you know, America is the black people's land. And also, when you think about black people, it is also Indians. What they told us were Indians, that, like Cherokee and stuff like that. So, it isn't, I don't know, I don't know if it is kind of like they took some of the people and isolated them and then had them, because I don't know how it became like there's some people that look like Indians and some people look like black people. Like they look like two different groups, but really it's kind of the same. where you gotta work on your patience and just be like, okay, write it out. Write it out. That's the thing. Okay, that's enough. It's enough. It's a thing too. Dogs are always jump up and bark out of nervousness. They do it out of nervousness and anxiety, and then also out of protection. They're very motivated to protect us. So let's. I just feel bad for people. I feel bad for dogs, and people are so mean to them for being dogs. Because that is a part of our society right now. It's like, I don't know. It's almost like women want to just put a handle on them, carry them like a purse. Don't do anything. Just sit still. It's like, well, it's a living creature that has its own motivation, has its own language. Yesterday, this guy walked by, and these 2 new dogs in the neighborhood, and they're real huge, and they're all talking the whole way. Those dogs are just like, whoa, they're making all these noises, like, and all the dogs on the street behind the fences are all barking at them. And so when they were going by yesterday, I was hearing it differently. As I was hearing it, is like the dogs were like, hey, yeah, this is where I live. Hey, where are you? I'm so glad to see you, because they know each other's sounds and stuff. So when one goes by, it's like, oh, look, this is me, and like, so you can recognize. So when they're out there, because in our neighborhood, like, you can hear them barking from blocks away to each other. They'll sit outside and communicate and talk to one another. So then when they're going by, I swear, it's like, yeah, hey, it's me. So anyways, I just think that we got to learn how to have a lot more respect for the other creatures and the other beings that we live amongst, and, you know, learn how to have respect. This is what all this stuff happening on the planet is all about right now, is learning to have this respect for everything, for everyone, for everything, for life itself, for the advancement of living. You know, what is it all for? What's it all mean? What are we doing here? And there's just so many people. Still, isn't that plenty? There is just you know, all these people who are. Let's see if she leaves the door. Sometimes she'll push it and go all the way open, and then I have to go shut it. So all these people who, what was I gonna say? I can't remember. But anyways, this week, if Joe steps down, well, that will be a lot of stuff. You know, it will be a lot of things for him to start seeing. Like, who knows? He's like, is Joe gonna have a fit? Because he was already having a fit last week. I'm not stepping down. I'm going forward. Well, I think I was like, we'll see how they were gonna play this out. Like, I'm gonna charge Jill with elder abuse. That's what they should do. But it's kind of sad because I don't know. She's a lot shadier. You know, there's a lot of these people who, I don't know, who are from certain families and stuff, and they're shady, and but then it's like, but they were like born into it. Like their brains are like starting to be manipulated from the time they're little. Like, I don't know. Anderson and Kathy Griffin, Anderson Cooper and Kathy Griffin are popping in my mind. If you don't know about them, just gotta look up, go in that rabbit hole. Vanderbilt, their mom, and their 2 sons. And the one son that she was so close to, he's, you know, he died supposedly. But then Kathy came along, and Kathy became her new favorite person in the whole wide world. And way beyond Anderson, just like it was with her favorite son. So, yeah, there's just all this weird stuff. Like, where these people are born into this stuff. Like, what's his name? I just saw him in a movie the other day. It was weird too because it was an older movie. I was like, man, this guy, did he start acting when he was really young? Army Hammer. Isn't that weird too? His name's Army Hammer. That's weird. Like, there's so much of this stuff that's so weird. And then once he had come out on the whole thing about cannibal, you know, and then wanted to eat all his girlfriends, and he supposedly went off and just tried to go have a normal life and bought a hotel or something, but then people are saying people are disappearing at his hotel. Like, I don't even fucking know what the shit. Like, stuff is all so weird. But that is what we are really, it really is like, it is like devils living with angels down here or something. As like we are the angels, but then we are living with all of these really dark creatures, dark beings that think in a very hostile way. And we all are a lot more loving, even though I know lots and lots of people have been drawn into really a lot of dark shit. But that is what's going to hurt them. That's what's going to be so hard for them when they wake up. Is this stuff that they've done, the things that, but that's what you got to remember is that's what you're here to heal. You were supposed to do that. That was supposed to happen, and it has to do with past lives. So it's like the finishing touches to past lives for you to get the whole vision, the whole expression of understanding. So it is important how things play out, but it is but don't get caught up in self-hatred, self-loathing. That's what, and that is when you're feeding this luge out with all your fucking hatefulness and your self-loathing and your depression and sadness and stuff. They just eat that shit up, and then they keeps you there, keeps you in this dark place, because this dark energy holds you back, because you got to learn how to tell it to shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. You got to tell this darkness to get the fuck out. And you got to be able to recognize it when it's around, when it's lingering around you, when it's coming at you. And, but that is all part of, like, it's weird because there is like so many segments. This is like a world of portals because there are so many segments of things to try and understand, because it's all so vast, and it's not just one thing happening. Like, it's happened, so many things are happening on so many different levels, and that is why you have to have like this veil over your understanding so you can really focus. It's so much about giving you the opportunity to focus on what you are here to work on. Because if you came in and you were birthed in, it would be so overwhelming. You wouldn't even know where to start, especially when you're birthed into a group of people who don't know where to start. Like, we're just like, it is like this, how this awakening is going is like this birthing of new creatures, but we're not new creatures. We're old creatures that were lost. And so now we are finding ourselves again. We're remembering who we are. And there's just been so much darkness. Like, I just saw a video of a woman, well, she's pretty young, so a younger girl and a younger guy, and they were hooking up, liked each other, obviously. She got pregnant, and then at some point they were talking about a family reunion, or they were at a family reunion, and then they found out that they have the same dad. And neither of them know, they didn't even live near each other, nothing. But this dad is one of those dads that has 21 kids. He's just out there planting his seed all over the place. But this is the problem in our society. What happens? Living in an immoral society, there's repercussions. That's what we set our standards. That's what guides us. That is why we have a rule book inside of us, is so things don't happen that aren't supposed to happen. Like, there should not be, we should have closer family units. We should have an understanding. Your community, your village is a part of your sustainability. It's a part of your existence, and those souls are there for these same experiences. Like, you are linked by your environment, by your space, through certain situations. Like, all these people are going through this in Houston, all the people who went through it in all these different places, they all came in together into those places. Nothing is by accident. They are in those places on purpose together. And it's so weird because all these different souls know each other. And some will start seeing, like, in cleanup efforts and stuff, people will be becoming brought together. You'll see, like, yeah, everything had to fall apart. But when we go out to clean it up, when we go in to try and figure out what to do, that's when the expansion starts happening. That's when people start meeting each other and start being like, oh, well, we could do this, we could do that. That's why you got to be in tune with what it is you're here to represent. What are you here to take action on? And so in these cleanup efforts is when we will have so many people begin to make contact with other people from their soul groups that will lead them into is like the table's turning. And so it leads us into this path where we're always going to go. It's just like right now, so many people are so confused. Like, we got so many people thinking we're going here, we're going there, we're going over there, the world's going to blow up. Like, we literally have people who think that everything is going to end, the world's going to blow up and stuff like that. There's nothing. Like, this is a huge endeavor. This is a huge thing. The universe doesn't give up on itself. There's nothing for us to give up on. That is the frustration that is linked to the story of, this being under control, having things happen to us that are out of our control. But you learn so much by having things happen to you that are out of your control. And don't forget that the things that happen to you are happening for you because they only happen to you. It's not happening to everybody, except for the things where there's big groups. But that is because you, as a whole, as a group, you are going to go through that experience together. And it's all for a bigger purpose. There's nothing is by accident. It's all a set. It's all this beautiful experience that is created. It really is. It's just fascinating. It's very beautiful and exciting what is going on. And it's sad that so many people are scared and fearful and it's like uninformed. But that is why we're going to have this awakening stuff. There's going to be a big part of that. Like, I don't know. I think the reason they keep pushing on the politics and stuff like that is because they've got so many people hooked in with that lure so that they can disclose a lot of information for the awakening. So everything is about get people's attention. And the political thing has got a lot of people's attention. And then the problem is that we've got these just very divisive people. And it's all so much bullshit. And now they just did another march with these fucking weird guys with their hoods and their face masks and they're all matching outfits. Are you fucking kidding me? And you're going to try and tell us that those are patriots. Those fucking guys that consider themselves patriots are not going to go buy matching clothes. Just guaranteed. The guys that consider themselves patriots, they're out riding their fucking they're riding their pickup trucks. They got their boots on, their jeans, their t-shirts, their hats. They're not going to go all dress alike and go march around and stuff. Like, you got to see that is a fucking bullshit ploy. And it's so fucking obvious. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for anybody who thinks. It's like, for anybody who thinks that really would be patriots. It's like, I mean, then you'll believe anything. You'll believe anything if you think that all these men are seriously going to go in and all go buy matching outfits and then go march through the streets. Like, no. Look at fucking J6. Go look at the fucking, was anybody out there all matching? Only thing that you're going to find them all matching is that we're going to be wearing red, white, and blue. And that is because of the fucking Donald making that, it was all about freedom. That's what it was pushing. It's like our flag represents the freedom, and that is what we're going towards. And so that is what it's about. But then they try and get it like, I can't even believe there's people now who think like people who have a flag that's representing like the Confederate flag is representing racism and stuff. It's like some people are so lost. And when you're lost like that, you're believing the news. That's just ridiculous. Like, it doesn't take much to go out and listen. Go listen to the Patriots. They all have good points. Everything that people are complaining about are good points. And there's nobody, I mean, there can be some rando people out there who are being visibly hateful towards other races and other cultures and stuff. But, you know, that's that group. That's like, you got to look at some of these as groups, soul groups that came to go through these experiences. And then we want to see them, they want to put them on the news as fast as they can, and then get us all gathered around to keep us all divided. But it's that group that is going through certain things because it has to do with their past lives and stuff. It has to do with way more. So, but if you go out and you, like, to me, where I started listening was on Facebook back in 2015, and because 16 was the thing, and I was watching the lead up to it. So I was talking for, I think, a year, telling people he was going to win, and people were getting so mad at me. I could not believe how mad people were getting at me. And I was like, I'm not saying I'm voting for him. I'm saying that he's going to win. Go in and read what people are saying. It's like, go in and listen to people. Go listen to what people complain about, what people are going through, how they look at things. And especially when they said that they were putting Hillary in, that just blew shit up. I mean, everybody on one side knew there's no fucking way. There's no way that lady's going to be. I mean, there has already been books of their crimes, their corruption, there's already people who were writing about the people who have all gone against those people, all ended up at the end of a red tie. So that stuff was already out. And it was weird too, is because I loved the Clintons. Like, I was one of those people. I loved them. And then, and my mom, she was always a Republican. I was always a Democrat. She was always a Republican. She was always religious. I was always spiritual. We've always had these battles. And she had said, let me think, what was it? She had told me about the Clintons like a long while ago. She was like, oh my God, those people are so bad. I can't believe you like them. And I was like, oh, I really like him. And he's done good for the country and stuff like that, whatever it was. They trick us into thinking that they're doing good when they're fucking doing shady shit. So, that's just superficial level shit, you know? That's where we all were. That's why we've got to go in deeper on shit. That's why people are all going down rabbit holes and stuff, going into portals of information. But she had told me, and I couldn't wrap my head around it. I just thought, oh, this is just, you know, what the thing between Republicans and Democrats. Republican thinks the Democrats are bad, the Democrats think the Republicans are bad, and this is just how it goes. And so I didn't think that much about it. And then when I was on Facebook, and I can't remember what it was, there was something, there was a lot of shit going on. Because this is during the time when he was saying he was going to take one of these in Times Square and everybody would still vote for him and all this stuff. People were just outraged. And then people who were in support of him kept telling other people, like, you're an idiot. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. And it's like, then once you get to the side where you support him, then you do see, like, oh, he's just saying this stuff. He's like joking around. He's trying to make a point. And so you see him through different eyes once you open your eyes to the other possibilities, the other sides. But that is where they keep all these people trapped in only listening to the people you agree with, only listening to the people who are the same as you. And that's why there's all these different groups that are all breaking down, because we can't isolate ourselves into these groups. We have to go into the collective, into the entirety. And so we have to open our minds, take down our blockages, that's our biases, so that we can come together. But when I was going in at that time and listening to them, I was reading people's comments and stuff they were saying, and I could feel their pain. Like I could see where they were coming from, and it just opened my mind. And then I was like, and we all have the same complaints. And there was, I've witnessed it. There was a hard hit on the Republican, conservative, religious party. They were getting a lot of rights taken away, and they were going to be hit the hardest first, and they were standing up saying bullshit. And then all of us that were over on the liberal side, we were like, oh, well, they just want these, and they just want this, and they just want that. You know, we were just divided. We thought they were trying to push their religion on us, and they're trying to make us all live by their rules, and we all want to live by our own rules. And like the liberal mindset is a lot more open, and you know, that's why you do see all these people that are just strange. Like there's a lot of androgyny, a lot of not so defined and confined, and then you get these other people who make fun of these people. Like, we've got to stop. Like, the people who are these conservative Republicans, they just haven't seen, you know, their conformity, their negativity. I mean, they still think that they are all, you know, men of God and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that all the different people have to open up to. But that's why I keep saying that that group is going to have the hardest time. It's going to be a lot for them. No, something just went in my throat. Oh my God. Felt like a bug crawling down my throat. Maybe that's what he's got. Maybe we've just got these microscopic bugs attacking us. I swear we do. I swear we do. So, anyways, the more that you just put your weapons down, put your shields down, and just go in and just listen. Like, you can go in and listen and read what people say without, and you'll start noticing, like, especially right now, the people who are the most vindictive and hateful and stuff, it's all out of fear. They're all scared shitless. Like, it's crazy to see all these liberals sitting there panicking and feeling like Joe's a real person, and they're trying to mess with them and stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, there's just so much stuff. And everybody is going to have this part of like an embarrassment, like, oh my God, I didn't see, and it was so obvious. Why didn't I see? And but that's why I've been saying, like, this middle group that isn't bent on religion, they are a lot more just like, they just don't know what to think. They just know this isn't right, this isn't right. They don't know what to think. But those people are going to have a lot easier time as this goes. They're going to go through feeling tricked and stuff, but it's going to feel, they're going to be, that second group, which is going to be really big when this awakening goes. But they're going to go into mass healing. That's the thing. It's going to be this big dark night of the soul that comes over people, because they have to face their dark side. They have to face the side of themselves that they don't see. And that's why I keep saying, all these people are like locking in this hateful side of themselves. So it's so that they can see it crystal clear when it occurs, when the lights come on. That's all they're going to see. And their soul knows, their soul's doing it, but their representation of self doesn't. So it's going to hit them like a fucking Mack truck, and they're going to be like, fuck. It's the takedown of your soul, so you can clean it up and get your shit together. So, but the third group, they are going to be the hardest ones to go through, because they're going to, it's like I said with the religion, even, that they even have it in their thing. that when this happens, they're going to try and trick you, and there are all these devils that are trying to get your mind off of God. You're not a God. There's only one true God, and Jesus is his son, like all their stuff. So they're going to have a hard time, and I don't know how it's going to play out. But I know how it's going to continue to play out. Like as it goes, things are going to get better and better. We're going to go into a time of abundance. We're going to go into not being burdened by bills. We're not going to be burdened by loss. We're going to, but we have to face ourselves. That's the thing. In order to get the jewel, you got to face yourself. All the good stuff to come, you got to face yourself. Because facing yourself is what it is the creation of all the good stuff to come. And everybody's going to do it. I mean, there'll be people who won't. There'll be lots of people who are going to do themselves in because it's going to seem so big, and they're going to feel so humiliated. The shame and the guilt is going to just be eating them up, and they're going to take their own hand to get out of here. But then as soon as they go out, then it's like they find out, oh, I can't get away from this. This is something you have to face. This is your soul. You can't get away from, you can't just leave a life and everything goes away. It goes with you. It just goes with you. So, and a lot of people have to get to their life review to be like, oh, damn, damn it. But that's because we're in a soul's journey. This isn't just one singular life. You have a soul's journey. You're on a trip going around the world. And then pretty soon it's going to open up, and we will. We're going to be able to move freely. We're going to be able to go to places that you could only imagine. And it's going to be super exciting. Like we're in for some really good stuff, but there still is a lot of bad stuff that we got to get through. You just got to keep working on you, keep riding it out, ride the wave, and keep focusing on and trying to get your mind into positive possibilities. So many people just swim in the treachery of everything going wrong, and we're all going to die, and all these bad things. And I mean, we're already their slaves. So people are keep thinking like, oh, they're going to make us into their slaves. We are their slaves. We're breaking free from that. So yeah, that's something that you got to put your head around. You know, we've been enslaved. Our minds have been controlled. Our environment's been controlled. We've been motivated to go to work and chase nothing. So we think we're chasing something, but there's nothing to chase. It's all an illusion. So anyways, there's just a lot through all the things, and you just got to keep waking up and realizing. But that's what you got to realize, is that you are a trapped spirit. You are a magic. You are the fairy. You are the angel. You are the warrior. You are the thing that they wish that they could be. But we go through life after life after life to become what we are. And these people are like, it's like they're trapped in this darkness, trapped in this realm. But it's their vibration. Everything is held by its own vibration. But we are beings of expansion. We are beings of love. So yeah, we're going to do this. This thing's going to be done. We are going to create heaven on earth. And we are going to ride this out. We're going to go through it. And even the people who leave us and they go to the review and remember who they and what they are, they'll just meet up with us. So there's nothing to fear. There's nothing, you know, you'll be able to find your people will find you. We're all connected, and everything is fine. There's nothing to worry about. And I just have big hopes for this week. I'm really excited. So we'll see how this goes, and just, you know, just try and stay in that, you know, positive. You know, what's the worst thing that could happen? Like, staying positive. What? If something bad happens, then you deal with it. But keeping a positive light, keep thinking of what is to come is going to be good. Don't get caught up in these people, because I don't know, those people could be creating it for themselves. And this whole group of people may have to go through this big negative creation that they have created for themselves. But not all of us will. We're all going to go through that negativity. There's going to be some good stuff. So that's why I say focus on the good stuff. You want to be in that group. You want to be in the group that believes in itself and believes in the possibilities, that believes in the magic. And, you know, that's how it shows the rest of them what it is. Because the people who believe, the believers are the showers. So become a shower. And don't forget, you got to learn how to love yourself, love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it is up to you. So I'll talk to you later.